by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
B-side. Check it. So deaf. Bad boy. Collaboration. Listen to the notorious big in the house. We got the brat in the house. And me, y'all know who I be. Check it. I got beats on beats that you love to ride to. Funk for your trunk is what I provide you. So slide through your hood with me in your deck is your correct way to get your groove on. Flossing, I paid the cost to be the boss as a kid. Now I be the one that you can't mess with. They thought luck did it, but it didn't, cause I'm back again. Back with the big and my newfound friend.
Sliding in from the front, never way behind. You're trying to figure how I came with the style of mine. Remain in your seats as I release the clip into your hip. Brad and Biggie Small.
On top of all that, I'm so remarkable. Flow, making competition know it.
Ain't an MC coming close to D. Notorious B.I.G. Baby.
Listen to the B-side.
Listen, you know I'm a ball at karaoke. Welcome into hour 2 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. You know, Andy bringing us in with a little Brat, JD, and Biggie, the B-side. Do people even know what the B-side is anymore? Like, literally, we don't have anything that flips to the B-side. Like, is that a concept that comes together? I'm unclear. I'm unsure. But you are sure because you are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Thank you so much. I hope you are enjoying your Thursday night. Now listen, this hour, we're going to get into some code switching with Mario Lopez. You know, there's a video that came out. Mario's been showing a little more of his personality, his away from the camera side, and that has led to some social media commentary. We're going to get into that. We're also going to talk about Young Thug. A judge has ruled that lyrics from his song can be used in the court trial currently against him in Atlanta. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to get into USC's Caleb Williams. You know, there's been some questions about his heart after SC's most recent loss and his actions following that. So we're going to have a conversation about leadership because I think that as we evolve, as we start taking men's mental health more seriously and topics of that nature, we have to look at the things that we consider when discussing leadership and those type of things and, you know, active roles and role models and etc. Speaking of USC, listen, Nike has announced that for the first time ever, they're going to be selling college basketball jerseys for active players with their names on the back. Shout out to NIL. That has never happened before, but now it's going down. So let me tell you a couple of the players' jerseys that will be available, right? I told you guys to watch out for USC freshman Juju Watkins. Well, her jersey is one of the jerseys that will be available from Nike with Watkins on the back, SC colors. Got that, what is it? What do they call the burgundy color and gold? I can't, there's, how colleges have official names. I can't remember what the burgundy whatever color is that it is. But anyway, she's going to be in that. They're going to have Caitlin Clark of Iowa. So number 22 will be out there. There's going to be a James Jr., number 6, floating around, another SC athlete. Obviously, Bronny's jersey is going to be available for purchase. And Paige Buckner's, her Cardinal. Okay, that's what it is. I'm telling you, I know that there are official colorways, and people get real serious about those things when it comes to their alma mater. And I can't blame them. I respect it. I wanted to attend USC at one point. It just didn't work out. But, we're going to give y'all that respect. Let's see. Hopefully, because right now the football team, we'll get into that when we talk about Caleb. But, and like I said, Paige Buckner, and she's at UConn. So, are you guys looking to buy college jerseys with college players' names on the back? It's going to be a short value wear because, well, the women, they tend to stay in college longer because, one, they can't come out as soon to go pro, and two, that's just not the way the game is set up. But these kids, we'll have to see. Although with the NIL and more dollars, I'm wondering if that is going to be an impact, if we will see a switch where we will see some of these recruits stay in school a little longer based off of the money that they can receive from NIL. Because in some cases, they might be getting more money in college through NIL than what they'll actually get when they turn pro, at least for that rookie contract. Andy?
Is Bronny under an NIL deal?
Bronny has like the biggest NIL deal.
Okay.
Yeah, but he has like the FaZe Clan, his gamer deal. He's obviously got a deal with Nike because of his dad and a couple of other things. So absolutely Beats.
I see his jersey as a top seller then.
For sure.
Especially if he balls out, most def.
Do you think, I wonder what the pressure is like, not only for USC, how much they play him, whatever, but because he's had a health scare, and as much as they have been forthcoming with that, I'm sure there's information that the general public is not aware of, understandably so. So I wonder what this first season is going to be like, because for me, I don't know how I'm going to feel if he's out there a lot. It's going to feel a little crazy, to me, at least initially.
Well, you had Jeff Green from the Nuggets.
Absolutely.
I believe he had open heart surgery.
He did when he was with Boston. He started out in OKC.
And,
sure did.
I mean, I want to say he's still playing. I don't know if he's still with the Nuggets or whatnot, but I mean, he was able to have a long, successful career.
Uncle Jeff.
Yep. DeMar Hamlin, I really don't know what his situation is. I don't even know if he's actually playing.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
But he's young. He's not. Because it got me thinking about Hank Gathers.
Of course,
they were in college too when all that stuff happened.
And then what's the other guy that played for the Celtics?
Reggie
White. Yeah. So just a concerning thing. You think about. I mean, it didn't stop Shaq's oldest son from playing,
exactly.
But he went through it as well. So it's just interesting thing.
I mean, if they want to go ahead and be on the safe side, then he probably should redshirt, considering that they're already starting games now.
I mean, he was out there in, the Midnight Madness, so I feel like...
Actually playing?
Well, warming up. I don't... Let me not speak unnecessarily, but I don't know if he's actually... I think that they are wanting to play him this season, but I think they're being conservative, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, let's caution on the side of health.
I believe that as well. When we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. We're going to talk code switching. Do you do it? Are you okay with it? All that and more on the other side. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580. Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
November is National Runaway Prevention and Homeless Youth Awareness Month, and the Sanctuary of Hope is shining a light on the situations that cause youth to run away or face a housing crisis. In LA County, nearly 3,000 youth are homeless on the streets each night. All month long, the Sanctuary of Hope will lead activities throughout LA County to inform and mobilize calls for action, and you can help. For more info, go to www.thesoh.org. That's www.thesoh.org.
Shop Black Friday every day at Lowe's and get the best new deals all month. Right now, shop the lowest prices of the year on select major appliances and save an extra $100 for every $800 you spend on select major appliances. Plus, bring home a Little Giant 14.3-foot multi-position ladder. Was $169, now $99. Because Lowe's knows deals. Valid to 11/8. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
Hey, keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Now listen, losing a parent, that's never something that is easy or, something that you want to deal with, especially deal with publicly. But Tisha Campbell, she recently announced that her father passed away, and she was cleaning out his house recently. And she, it's good when you can connect something fun, something good, something memorable to the loss of a loved one to make you smile, to deal with, whatever grief you're going through. So Tisha said she was cleaning out his stuff and she found her dad's adult DVD collection. She said she always wondered why. She was like, Daddy, we should throw away. She had the DVD combo player thing that you keep, where it slides in. And she said she would try and get rid of it. And he would be like, nope, don't get rid of my stuff. I'm keeping it. Well, she found his secret stash of DVDs. And let me just tell you some of the titles of the films that she discovered. One was Black Bros and White Garden Tools. The other one was Gaping Open Spaces. Another title was, let's just say Daddy was getting to it. He had like the Hall of Fame of DVD adult entertainment movies. The stack was thick, and it had like the old school DVD things where somebody pressed it on and the label looks a little wrinkly or whatever.
Oh,
but
yeah, the bootleg joints.
I think some of them were definitely bootleg copies.
What were the race? Was it ebony?
I just told you, one was Black Bros and White Garden Tools. The the women on the cover of some of the other ones, they all look black. You know, for the most part. There were some titles. There were some things that I was like, ooh, I'm blushing. So I know you're blushing, Tisha. She was cracking up. It was funny, all in good fun. But Pops was not playing. He was like, nope, leave my TV and my DVD player right here. I mean, one of the titles was Black Booty Hole Bonanza. So, I mean, this stuff sounds like a skit. I was like, those are real titles.
That's because they do be skits.
I don't know.
They do.
That's what they do? There's skits on them? Yeah. Well, I mean, I know that they set up fake scenarios like, you know, can I borrow some sugar? Absolutely. Oh, my God, the plumber's coming to unclog my pipes.
Absolutely.
Type of stuff. Yeah, okay. That is hilarious, though. What would you do if you found your parents' stash? Would you let them know you found it? Would you just politely put it back where it was?
I'd probably be watching them.
You would take them and watch them, see what kind of taste they had?
Absolutely. See what was cracking back in the, you know, back in the older generation.
I remember when I was a little kid. Oh, my God. I probably should. Well, it's okay.
Speak on it.
I found my dad's Playboy stash. And I was like, oh, because back in the day when he got it through the mail. And they would come with a plain brown wrapper over the magazine. And I was like, what's this? What's this? I didn't understand. I just wanted to read the comic section in it. So go figure. But I was like, oh, it's a lot happening here. Yeah. So, you know, is there even a need for in 2023 for people to have a stash like that? Because everything's on the internet. It's just clips. Your phone has everything you need. Just keep it locked and your browse history cleared.
Absolutely. Because ain't nobody reading magazines and newspapers and stuff like that. You know,
they're not going to buy the VHSs and DVDs anymore.
Yeah, just go on X. You're good.
Right. They got a whole little section on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even got to be super sneaky. You could just hook yourself up. So shout out to Tisha's dad, because, you know, players need love too at an advanced age, even if it's self-love, whatever the case may be.
Hey, at least he was safe.
Right. Indeed, because, you know, we've talked about this on the show, and this is a real life stat. The elderly are one of the fastest growing groups of STDs out there. And that is because, you know, obviously they're like, hey, we don't have to worry about getting pregnant. Let's let this thing fly. But STDs are still a real thing. And apparently, you know, our elders are getting it popping, dipping and dotting, you know, thotting and bopping too. It never ends, man. If you were looking forward to that, it never ends.
And y'all want to talk about the youngsters. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's all of them.
How Granny got her groove back.
I guess so. I wonder if that was in his DVD collection. Maybe, huh? Maybe. Shout out, excuse me. Shout out to Fahima in the chat. She says, Jill, I saw that on Instagram. It was hilarious. It really was. Tisha was rolling, so, you know, all in good fun.
That was dope. That put a smile on her face.
Yeah, you know, because I'm sure it was a hard time, but she was like, Daddy has secrets too. What? Let's keep this thing going. Shout out to him. Okay, so listen, Mario Lopez, you know him. He used to be, what was it, Slater on Saved by the Bell? AC Slater. Actor sometimes, but mostly he's been, as of the last few years, a host, a media host, right? So recently he's been making food videos where he is been, you know, hanging out with some of his friends that, you know, been around for forever. And they've been going to, like, you know, spots, getting salsa, mostly Mexican food, because he is Mexican. Surprisingly, I guess he said a lot of people were not aware that he's not he's Mexican, even though his name is Mario Lopez. Don't know. They didn't connect the dots. Maybe, but here's the thing, right? As we get into this conversation and considering a conversation we just had about The Rock and Will Smith, maybe Mario Lopez is the Mexican version of that for some, right? So here it is. People noticed that when he was hanging with the homies getting food, his dialect was slightly different. His enunciation wasn't quite the same, right? And so he started trending on Twitter. So he made a video to respond to the questions, and he brought something up, and we're going to get into it after we listen to his comments.
So all kinds of people just hit me up right now because evidently I'm trending on Twitter. And I was like, why? What I do? I was trying to rack my brain, and apparently it's because people don't think I'm Mexican. Is that a trip? With a name like Mario Lopez.
Well, you're English.
Yeah, I'm English. Teddy over here thinks I'm British. But you know what? They've been thinking I'm everything from Italian to Hawaiian, but I'm not. That's the weirdest thing. I was born in Chula Vista, border town right there in Tijuana. My parents are from Culiacan, Sinaloa. And I think it's because I've been doing these food videos on social with my homies. And it's a lot of Mexican food, a lot of mariscos. I love to eat. And, I'm saying food and homes and a lot of like slang and just kind of being yourself. And I can't be like that on Access Hollywood or my radio show. I'm trying to cash these checks. I can't be sounding all hood like that. I gotta keep it a little more polished and buttoned up. But my whole circle is even Mexicano. That's Tootie.
So listen, I mean, we all know about code switching, especially us in the Black community. Is it a problem? Like, do people really feel like that is something, especially as we've had conversations about Ebonics, and I don't even just think of it as, per se, something that even just Black people or Mexicans or Latinos do. I feel like white people do it too. There is a casual cadence and conversation that is different from what you utilize in professional settings. Now, do sometimes people forget that and get confused? All the time. But I think it is a natural occurrence. So I don't understand why people were so shocked or confused by that. Andy?
Do you know what some of the comments were? Were they like upset or something? Or
a little bit. They were. I think sometimes when stuff like this comes up, maybe their assumption is that he is, a little more whitewashed. Maybe I think the assumption is that you don't really tap in with your culture like that. Why are you doing it now? What are you trying to do? Oh, now you're one of the homies, that type of thing. And, sometimes I get it. Sometimes we know that some people do pander. Just had the conversation about Justin Timberlake a couple weeks ago and the black scent. But that, I think we always say it was a different time and people are upset, but I think it was a different time in hip hop. We were passing out, passes to the cookout, and it meant something if we as Black culture accepted you warmly. It meant that, we thought there is a reverence for you and a respect for the culture, and that is why you're tapping into these spaces or you grew up around Black people or whatever. So I think with Mario, I think the assumption is you're whitewashed. You're not really down with us. Why are you playing?
I do know that there are a section of Latin people who can come off as white. If you look at them, you'd be like, they look white. But then you see them, Mario Lopez, they're Latino or whatnot. So that could be one thing. You know what I'm saying? For those who probably don't know his background or whatnot, they probably did look at him as a white male.
I don't even think that I think, to me, with that, much like we talked about safe Black, I think that there are, within ethnic groups, there are certain, ones that, same thing that we endure as Black people. Sometimes the harshness may be different. It's probably easier for some Latinos to assimilate or blend in if that is what they choose to do, just tone. Based off of skin. For most Black people, physically, you look Black.
Absolutely.
And, maybe or all of these things, but there's no denying with that. Sometimes with Latin or some other cultures, you might be able to push things around, or just get off a look as exotic. Because someone who, like Keanu Reeves is part Hawaiian or something like that, or Asian. I think so. And there's a couple other people like that where, they have that exotic feel over them, but people, for the most part, think that they are just, Caucasian or whatever. So I think that is kind of what it is with Mario. I think that they, view him as one of those, like, you're not really down, so why are you down now?
I just think anybody who had any negativity to say about that, to me, in my opinion, probably have not worked before. You got to code switch to a degree.
You do?
Like, I love his response. He got to get the bag. You know what I'm saying? You got to switch it up.
And like I said, I think most people, there is a casual dialect or cadence that you don't use in the workplace. Now, that could depend on where you work, but in theory, in corporate structures, there is a certain formality that is a part of work. That is a part of what is considered professional. And I know we can go back and forth with, the issues and situations where things that are naturally a part of us as Black people are called into question and considered unprofessional. But I also think that there is a line, and a pretty noticeable line, I think, where, especially currently, things that are more casual, again, depending upon your environment, and stuff that is just outright unprofessional. I think that in our quest to sort of defend individualism and to make sure that all cultures are respected to a degree, I think sometimes we have pushed for things that, even in my viewpoint, I don't think that it's a Black thing or that they're insulting Black culture. I think, hey, you're just being unprofessional, or this is not the place or location for certain behaviors. I'm very much a person that thinks that there's a time and a place for certain things, not that they're wrong, but I do think that people should respect time and place a little bit more. Andy?
Yeah, I was just thinking about Aquafina or whatever. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Like, now, that's total violation right there.
Right. She doesn't, I think she wants to stop using it, as she maybe should. Because here's the thing, like, do you consider that? Because, there's some people, I know, I feel like Gen X, that was a big thing. Well, I grew up around Black people, so some people would give people the pass to say the N-word, or, they talk this way. This is the way I always talk. My best friend did it. And it's true. Yeah. They're not being extra. They're not playing. It's really true. You are a product of your environment, no matter what, right? But there are people that play serious games, and Aquafina is one of them.
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely, growing up in L.A., we grew up with brown folks, and they're our neighbors.
Right.
And as a youngster, I was guilty. What's up, my end? What's up, my end? You feel me? As I got older and more conscious about stuff, I started to fall back and not refer to them as that. And, some of them obliged, some of them kind of continued doing, saying what it is that they said. But that's a good point that you made.
I mean, I think, it's just a complicated situation. I don't have a problem with it. I think get to the bag. You are when you're on in a circumstance like that, you are trying to appeal to mainstream across the board. So you keep it in the middle. It's not going to be too much maybe what you like at home, and it's not going to be too overly formal, I guess. When we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. More. All of that. News and sports on the other side. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Now Biggie Patch, what's lit like you just don't care.
Yeah, you're on my hit list. Biggie burns clips. When I'm pissed, release the Rolex from your wrist, baby. No human being, Korean or European, be singing, but Biggie singing, not even peeing in they drawers because Biggie Smalls is far from weak. Rat, please speak.
Just close your eyes, cause you already see the notorious B.R.A.T.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A Texas couple who appeared on an Oprah Winfrey Network reality show has been indicted by the federal government for running a pyramid scheme. LaShonda and Marlon Moore allegedly targeted the African-American community during the COVID pandemic. There were promises that participants would see 800% returns guaranteed. In reality, thousands of people were defrauded out of more than $10 million. The charges of wire fraud and money laundering mean the pair face 2 decades in prison if found guilty. The Randallstown, Maryland NAACP is questioning what it sees as a lack of urgency in tackling the issue of juvenile crime. President Ryan Coleman says his community no longer feels safe because crimes committed by juveniles continue to happen. Coleman wrote a letter to the head of the state's Department of Juvenile Services, Secretary Vincent Schiraldi, to take action on juvenile crime. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Escape with the best stories of the year on Audible. Hear celebrity memoirs, mysteries, true crime, sci-fi, and more. Ignite your imagination with audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
Happy holidays, foodies. Les Affairs is your local Black-owned event planning and catering service you can trust to provide a Thanksgiving free of the holiday scaries. Find us at lesaffairsevents.com. No grocery shopping in this haunting economy, laboring over a burning stove or battling the boogeyman, the dishes. Spooky season's over. Let Les Affairs cater your feast. Order from our selection of meats and sides delivered Thanksgiving Eve. Next day, heat, eat, and enjoy. Learn more at lesaffairsevents.com or Instagram at lesaffairsevents, LESAFFAIRESEVENTS. Bon appetit!
Hey, everything okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Honey. Hey, I'm here for you. Tell me about school today.
When kids can't find the right words, music can help them sound it out. Talk to the kids in your life about their emotional well-being. Find tools and resources at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm waiting for the chorus to kick in because I'm stumped.
I know you've been through many changes. You're a woman, not a girl, no. Stop acting like we're strangers.
Okay, Andy, you got to give me a hint.
Let me in your world.
Bryson Tiller? Bryson Tiller? Oh.
Rain or shine, child, I'm gonna love you anyway. You can call me day.
I am lost.
Feels good to stump Miss Jill Munroe from time to time.
Occasionally.
So first hint I provided you was Tiller.
Mm-hmm.
And you said Bryson Tiller, right?
Yeah, Bryson. Yeah.
So
he sampled it?
No.
Okay.
His name has Bryson in it.
Peebo Bryson?
Peebo Bryson.
What song is that? Wow, I'm off my game.
Give me your love. Give me your love.
Okay, shout out. I remember Peebo's afro. That's what I always think of him. His afro looked like a light bulb, low key. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome in. We're in hour 2. We're talking about Mario Lopez and code switching. Aubrey Sinclair in the chat says, I'm glad I found out what that term means. I've never heard of code switching. Really? That's so interesting. I thought code switching is a pretty common term, especially over the past few years. You probably do it and don't even realize that you're doing it. We all naturally do it, I think.
Yeah, you don't talk to your parents the way you talk to your homies. That's
absolutely. See? So, and Fahima said the same thing. Everybody code switches unless they are oblivious and can't read the room. So on the line, we have Daryl from Los Angeles. Daryl, thank you for rocking with RSVP with Jill Munroe tonight. What did you want to add to the conversation?
I must say the pleasure is all mine. Don't Andy be doing his thing?
Andy always does his thing.
What? This dude here, man. I appreciate you taking my call, Jill. But in terms of code switching, if you're smart, you would. You'll learn that technique.
Yeah.
Because you can get a lot further. As a black man, Okay, I own my own commercial plumbing company. I do retail, high-end retail. I'm working on Chanel. I'll be there in the morning on Rodeo Drive. But at any rate,
stun on us, flex a little. We like it.
But you will get a lot further, when you speak in a dialect that that they're used to talking to people that know what the hell they're talking about. If you don't have a certain dialect, they're not going to have the confidence in you to sign you to a contract in my field or anywhere else. I don't believe, But when I'm back in Detroit, say less. It's crazy. It's a smooth transition, but they used to clown me back there until I came up. They used to clown me. Oh, you talking white? Oh, you cold? But now they understand. They understand because I'm hopefully will retire next year. I've been in business 28 years, but I got a great name. Most of my contractors, they think I'm highly educated. I graduated from the School of Hard Knocks, but. On the other thing I wanted to bring up was Mario in terms of that Mexicans or Latinos, they have the same colorism we have here in the States.
Absolutely.
I dated a Colombian girl, and she really peeped me to a lot of game because if the darker your skin, you don't get to go on TV. They don't put darker skinned Mexicans on TV.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how many, the largest black population is in Brazil outside of Africa. That's the largest black population. But she was from Colombia. But she was really, she really educated me to the game down there because she's Afro-Latina and you look at her, she looked like she could be from Miami or LA.
Right.
But until she speaks, but she's picked up English as well, but she also speaks Portuguese and Mandarin, the Chinese language. But I just wanted to interject that. But if you're smart, you can use it to your advantage in terms of code switching.
100%.
You can get some high-end contracts that way, at least. If you can back it up. Now, you also have to back it up with action. You got to, do what you say and say what you do and stay to your word. But I should retire next year after 28 years. So it works. I just want to say it works if you can work it. All right. So it's there for you.
But hold on, though, Daryl.
Daryl, don't go. Andy has
a
question for
Daryl.
you. You got to stay.
You wasn't keeping it. You wasn't keeping it real, though.
What do you mean?
I'm joking. Basically, in the process of code switching, we get ridiculed for, obviously switching our vernacular, this, that, and the third. And the criticism is that you're not keeping it real or being your authentic self.
But, that's a misnomer because once you do it so long, you know how to navigate through a conversation with whoever you're talking to. Right, because you almost have to keep that same flow with the business aspect of your life, as opposed to the recreational part of your life, like when you're talking to your girl or whatever, your people. You don't have that same. That's when the switch happens. But when you're in business and you writing emails and closing contracts and you're talking to all these people that, and especially as the black man, you have to really overcome the stigma of the black man at the same time.
The assumption that you might not be educated, that you might not be fully dialed into whatever. Yeah.
That part. So all of that plays is baked in the cake. And when I started doing it, when I started my company, my kids was clouding me too. Dad, talking white, Dad. It's so funny now. It's so funny now because it was so long ago. But because I started my company down in Orange County from Tustin to Capistrano because I had to start in residential because I had no money to float these big jobs. I don't like residential plumbing. I like commercial because it's clean. It's easy. For me, it's easy, and you can make a lot more money than you could in a house. But at any rate, so I had my little piece of crap truck, and I called people. That's when cell phones was just becoming popular, but they were like, it's like $30 for 20 minutes or something like that. You know, it was really crazy, the prices, and the battery only lasts for about 15 minutes. But they really come a long way. But I would call people on the phone when I'm driving to the house, you know, and I would say, hello, yes, we have a plumber. He's in your area. He'll be at your front door in like 5 minutes. And then I show up at the door. And then the people, my customer would be like, dang, your office just called. Dang, geez, you guys, that's really good. That's really efficiency right there. Normally they keep us waiting all day. And I'll be like, yeah, but my boss, he's kind of tight and this, that, and that. It's me, but I'm just playing the part, you know. And then I go out, I write the bill. I remember this one guy wrote the bill for $320. And he said, dang, that's a lot of money. You was only here 45 minutes. I said, well, that's the growing rate. I mean, I can go out to the truck and call the office, but that's what they're going to tell me, you know. And then he said, well, use my phone. But I couldn't use his phone because I'm talking to myself. So I said, no, I got radio in the truck. I'll go out to the truck. And then I come back in and I said, well, they said $300. You know, wow,
because you're the boss. You can make the deal.
Right. So, you know, you have to play that game. And then the guy would end up giving me the $20 as a tip. He just wanted something, you know. So it's really useful. And once you do it so long, it really becomes a part of your personality and who you are. So it's seamless. You can't even tell, you know. It's really smooth. So I would encourage it if you start your own company or if you know, closing contracts, even if you're talking to another brother. But see, I'm the only black plumber on Rodeo. And a lot of places I go, there's no, you know, none of us out there, not owners. I mean, we'll be working for the companies and working, you know, for Labor Ready and all this stuff. But, you know, and there's a lot of good brothers that work for Labor Ready, too. I mean, I've been meeting these cats. I was saying, dang, dude, you're going to come up because they hustle. If you hustle, it's a long, I don't want to keep you up all night, but I like code switches. It's done well for me. I'll just say that.
Well, we appreciate...
Andy, I'm keeping it real, though, Andy. I'm keeping it real.
We got you. We appreciate you calling in for Daryl. I think code switching at this point really is just the difference from casual to professional conversation settings. I don't.
That's basically what it is. It's not. You know, like my kids. They used to say that you talk away, but it's just a professional. It's how you present yourself professionally. You want to be that cat that get that respect because you can only get it through language, really, and your actions. But when you talk to people, like, you know what you're talking about, and they get confidence in you, so they believe in you. So they take a chance with you, and once you prove yourself, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. You'll help you navigate. Yeah.
Well, thank you for tapping in, Daryl. We appreciate it. We appreciate the code switch as well.
Thanks for the show. Thanks for your show. I love your show. I love all you guys' show, though, really. All righty. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for calling. Andy, you got something to add?
Before we go to break, it just reminds me back when I was in college, and I was taking this business marketing class. I forgot the actual title of the class, but I do remember being in that class, and the focus was closing the business deal internationally, right? Mm-hmm. And how customs are completely different. Like, you could go to China, and I know that this is not what it is, but you can go to China, and in order to close the deal, we have to eat first. We don't just go straight talking business. No, we got to eat first, maybe take a couple shots, and then we close the deal. As opposed to maybe going to Indonesia, where it's just, let's go straight into the business.
Customs.
And then we eat.
Yeah.
So it's definitely important.
It is, wholeheartedly. I worked in international marketing for a shoe brand, not Nike, another one after that. And I also, when I worked at Sony, worked in international marketing. And you have to respect, local customs. basic things like you have your shoes on, or how you accept the food, how you shake certain people's hands, what you take on at the meal, you know? So I think that there's all sorts of ways where I won't say alter, but, adapt to the situation, just, to make things go a little smoother. And I think that if we're being honest with ourselves, a little piece of us is a different person depending upon the scenario, and all those pieces together make you who you are. So, bottom line, I'm not mad at anybody code switching. Get your paper, Mario. When we come forward, more trending topics and headlines. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
The City of Los Angeles Civil Rights Department and its Reparations Advisory Commission are calling on you to be a part of something powerful. Join the Black Experience Study to share your experiences with the City of Los Angeles. We want to hear your stories. To join the study, join a focus group, or schedule an interview with us, visit www.blackexperiencela.com by December 31st. For more information, call 213-978-1845 or visit www.laisforeveryone.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions because we've got your black. Listen up. If you're one of the more than 100,000 California tenants who were rejected or delayed when applying for COVID rental assistance, you've got a second chance. Under the terms of a new settlement, California's Housing and Community Development Department agreed to audit its past denials. The program ended in March 2022, but the advocacy groups, Alliance of Californians for Community Empowerment, Policy Link, and Strategic Actions for a Just Economy sued the department. According to the coalition's analysis of state data, the department rejected nearly 30% of all applicants. Under the settlement, the department agreed to clear all renters in the pipeline within 6 months. The settlement applies to anyone who sought assistance from the state's Housing is Key program before April 1st, 2022, whose applications is pending or was denied after June 6, 2022. Tenants who have questions about the status of their application can call the hotline at 833-430-2122. That's 833-430-2122. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So maybe this guy could have used a different form of code switching. I don't know. There's some people that are a little upset with USC's quarterback Caleb Williams, right? And, you know, USC's season has been sort of up and down. Andy says disappointing. I didn't use that adjective. I'm just saying it's up and down. It's interesting. Yeah. I'm going to keep hope alive. I try to be positive, right? So right now they're 7-3, 5-2 in the Pac-12. We have about 6 weeks left of the season. When did the bowls start? The things. I don't know, not too much longer left, but long enough so that, there's still time to turn something around. We know that Caleb was the 2022 Heisman Trophy winner, right? So, following their loss to the Huskies the other day, Caleb went and jumped up into the stands, sought his mom out, guess he needed that hug from mom because he was really upset. There may or may not have been tears that were flowing in the moment. We're unsure. And later during the press conference, he said that, he just wanted to go home following the loss and hug his dog. Well, there's a sports journalist. Her name is Charlie. And, Charlie's hardcore. I think she's on the Outkick platform. So, they are different sometimes in their opinions. We'll just leave it at that. And she thinks that what he displayed means that he has no leadership qualities and that he's basically just soft. Let's hear what she had to say.
When and where is it acceptable for a man to cry? Because from what I understood, grown men had some pride and dignity, right? So tell me why USC quarterback and Heisman winner Caleb Williams felt compelled to run to his mommy in the stands and bawl his eyes out. This lasted for at least a full minute. And then it gets even better because RG3 had the audacity to tweet out this. Any NFL team would be lucky to have him as their quarterback, and this emotion shows how much this game means to him. I totally disagree with this. An NFL team needs a leader. It's not running to his mommy, bawling his eyes out and creating a spectacle for the cameras. Oh, and then after the game, in the post-game presser, Williams said that,
I want to go home and cuddle with my dog and watch some shows.
What's with men these days? How is this deemed acceptable in their minds? Caleb Williams, he's soft, he's a crybaby, and I implore any NFL scouts to keep this pathetic scene in mind when concocting their idea of what a leader on an NFL team looks like.
Okay, so it's a lot there, right? Let's start with one. We talk about men's mental health, right? But then when they open up or show something, we immediately get on them and talk about them and talk mess. That may not be fair. That may not be nice, right? Second, what makes a leader? Are you a leader by the example that you set on the field, your work ethic, how you show up? Or is it your reaction? Now, it is your reaction in, different situations and how you move forward and handle that. But one, do we really think he was serious in his, I know he was serious, but serious, he was about to go hoover down a pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream and watch Lifetime movies and be sad and not be able to recover. It's football. He's going to be back on the field, back in practice, doing what football players do, getting hit in the head, right? So I think that as long as he continues to show up on the field, what did his teammates say? How did they look at him? Because that's really the true barometer, let me slow down, of a leader. How does your team respond to you? How do they react to those type of things? So, I think that we're being a little hard on Caleb. I think that the reaction, well, she was being hard, but, Rob Gronkowski came out and said he thought there was a little something wrong with it, too. Yeah, we'll get into that in hour 3. When we come forward, I'll tell you what Rob had to say. Plus, we're going to get into this Keke Palmer situation, plus a few other trending topics and headlines. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. News and sports on the other side.